have people. Woo!
Yeah.
This is just supposed to be something really, really chill and what's the word I'm looking for? I often struggle for words, which is very helpful in my chosen profession, as I'm sure you can understand. So if anybody else wants to talk, that would be really appreciated.
Oh dear, Ellie.
How are you, Shirley? You're very
good. I'm good. I'm glad to be here. I am also really crap with words. Like you know, I can write stuff, but I can't actually do the talking thing.
Yes.
Without, I mean, anytime I have to do a Zoom thing where I have to speak, I've got a whole big ton of notes beside me, which is so brilliant on Zoom because nobody knows. You know, you can even have it on your screen and it looks like you're actually talking to the person, but you've actually got a big load of notes on the screen. So
I will know that for next time.
Over prepare with notes.
Yes.
For me, writing is one of those things where if I need to do it, like an essay, for example, no chance in hell. But if I'm given, like, if I get a story idea in my head, it's happening. 3,500 words later. I wish I could have done that in university.
So, very important question: who has cake?
It's Pesach.
We bought a caterpillar cake just for the occasion.
Oh, I love it.
Right.
I don't know what caterpillar cake is. You'll have to tell us.
Can you use my assistant for that? It's a cake in the shape of a caterpillar.
Oh. I thought
not made
it's like a sponge cake where it's rolled up like a strudel or one of those logs that I've seen around. It's just a cake shaped like a caterpillar.
It's like a classic children's birthday cake.
Yes.
Tends to be bright green.
Pixar, it didn't happen. I want to see it.
There we go.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
I'm not sure
I
anyone
see.
can see me.
Whose voice was that?
Oh, hi, Minnie. Oh, hi.
Hello. I've just been handed
Finally got this to work.
I've been handed a very large knife, and that's probably not wise. I'm going to set that there.
You'd want to cut the cake.
Yes, I wait until my hand stops shaking. Not starts to. Oh God, this is going well.
You got this.
So, hi guys. Someone else is waiting to join. There we go.
How is everything?
How is everything? I am weirdly shitting myself. Hope no one minds swearing.
Keeping the PG went out the window there.
Yeah, if you have a problem with swearing, the book might not be for you.
There's a few F-bombs.
There are a few swear words, but see, I have a book. In the back, which I can flick to very casually, there are some trigger warnings. So this will tell you exactly how much adult language I use and things like that. So you will have a heads up if you choose to make use of it.
It is true, because in real life, Ellie has the vocabulary of a well-educated sailor.
Thank you. I'm choosing to take that as a compliment.
Oh, it is.
Maybe a little bit closer.
Oh.
Yes, I decided that I would do this and then remembered I was shy afterwards. So that was...
That's why she hired me to be her hype man.
Have you had a good day, Ellie?
Have I had a good day? I don't really feel like I'm conscious. I'm kind of yeah, sorry, I was distracted by a tiny chihuahua. He's came over to find
hi Giles.
So you can't do a Zoom call and not show the pet. That's like Zoom rules. There has to be the pet wandering across.
Hang on.
Thank you.
Hey Giles.
Oh.
Hi Giles. He's so cute.
Hello.
He's so small and cute and deserves all the belly rubs.
He is very small and cute. The cat would probably scratch out my eyes if I tried to lift her, so we will leave her alone.
She's sleeping.
She's sleeping. So yeah, we're all cute. Hello. Ryan, you have missed absolutely nothing. We've just been discussing where we're all from and how we're secretly all interconnected somehow. Do any of you have any questions? Marianne.
I want to know what it feels like to be a published author.
Completely overwhelming. By the time my emotions settle down again, I would probably be able to give you a proper answer. But right now it doesn't really feel real. It feels like it has been a very long time coming, but at the same time it also doesn't feel like it's happened yet. Weirdly, it's very hard to explain. Shirley, how does it feel to be a published author?
Yeah, it's sort of a bit like that, actually. It's sort of, you get sort of moments of, oh my God, I've got a book, and then the rest of the time it just feels like, normal, and I don't know, there's highs and lows and all the rest of it. But you've had some really brilliant reviews so far. I was having a wee nosy on Goodreads there, so congratulations! You must be really thrilled.
Yes, it's just like I said, a bit overwhelming.
Yeah.
But in a good way. Hopefully there will be more reviews show up, and not like the very first one I got on NetGalley said they worked in a school somewhere in the States, and they were 5 stars, love this, would I recommend it to students? Absolutely not. Thanks, I think.
I have a question.
Yes.
So I read you did a great interview with Kelly today. It was out on social media, and you said that. So I've read the book and I loved it. And but you said what really caught my attention in the interview was you said that the idea of the story came from a dream, and I'm thinking, oh my God, because you said it was that first part of the book. Yeah. And I'm thinking, oh my God, dreaming that, it just sounds horrendous. But
it was more of a nightmare than
a little bit maybe, and also tell me about the actual. So you dreamt that bit, but then I'd love to know the research that you had to go through because for that bit too.
Oh, there was lots of discussions of amniotic fluid that were very enjoyable, but no, it was the very first draft had a slightly different opening.
Oh, right.
That bit that I had that came to me in a nightmare. It was all very dramatic. It was all very it was almost 5 years ago. It was, I know because I wrote it down. It was May 2016, and I had this horrible nightmare. And I came downstairs, and Steve was in the kitchen. I don't know what you were doing, but you'd maybe gone down for a sandwich or something?
Probably some, because I don't do dishes. You don't let me. Kelly doesn't do the dishes.
It's true. All of it. Anyway. That's nice. Yes, I went downstairs and I was in tears. Absolute floods of tears. Inconsolable, and Steve was like, what on earth happened? I've been downstairs for 30 seconds and I couldn't even verbalize how upset I was, so I went upstairs and I typed out basically the main words, no, not the outline, the main portion of my dream. Basically it ended up being like 5,000 words that I typed in like an hour and a half. It was mad. I've never written like that before or since. And Steve came up and he was just like, so what actually is happening? Because you were in floods of tears and now you're typing and you still haven't explained what on earth is happening. We were supposed to be going to see Steve's parents and he's just like, are we leaving? Are you talking to me? Like, what is happening? And I was in this weird, like, what's the phrase? A fugue state?
Yeah, that would work.
I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. But anyway, and that was the opening. Oh, I have a waiter. That was the opening couple of chapters of draft 1. And now we have a Valerie. Hi, Valerie.
Hello. Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Hello. And goodbye. I'm gonna have to duck out.
Okay,
but I wanted to say hi and congratulations and thank you so much for my copy because it arrived and I love it so much.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad. I will talk to you later, Minnie.
All right. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I was going to ask a question. I remember reading like the first sort of draft of the book.
Yes.
And I've read, of course, the latest version. How much has changed between the first and the last?
As someone who's read the very first draft and the very last draft, you should probably know.
I do have some idea, but I'm just like.
I'm going to throw this question over to my editor. B, how much of the book changed?
Oh, a lot of the book changed. She rewrote a lot of it. She, I think I read the whole thing 3 times, and it was different every time. So there was a lot of changing going on. So a lot of refining, a lot of research. So she would go research, and then she'd come back and say, "Oh, I have this different idea for how it's going to go now, and this is going to be different, and this is going to be different." And it shaped up. It was really interesting to watch the process.
And a lot of 5 a.m. discussions.
Maybe a few. Yeah, I think it's worth noting that the draft that I got had been written probably, how many years before I got to it had that original draft been drafted? It was a while.
Yeah, it had been 4 years since it was finished, like 5 years since it was started.
Yeah, and Ellie's writing had evolved a lot in that time. So I know when I read the first draft, some of it didn't even feel like her anymore because it was so long ago, and she had developed so much since then. And when she went back in and rewrote it, it turned back into what what I expect to come from her, the development thing that she's doing now. So it was really exciting to watch.
So I say both thank you, and I'm so very sorry that you had to read the original.
It's okay. I still like
it. That is appreciated.
So I was going to ask you, Ellie, about like you have I'm always like saying this about you, but your work ethic to me is just like amazing, because every time you're on social media, you're like doing something new, or writing something, or like posting a blog, and then I got your newsletter today, and you're always tweeting and stuff, and I just feel like I'm so rubbish at doing all that outside stuff, that is actually really, really important to get in touch with people, and I feel like I'm rubbish at it, and you're really, really good at it. So I'm just wondering, like, how do you do that? Like, how do you prioritize it all, or I don't know, how do you do it?
So I struggle to do it like all at once. So I kind of I feel like I was hardly on social media while the actual rewrite was going on. And then this month, while like when the rewrite was finished and I was doing all of the background things, getting the pre-order set up and all that, I've like written hardly anything this month at all. So it's just purely being marketing. So the answer is quit writing. And you'll have all the time in the world for Facebook and Twitter. I do that.
Yeah, that I know. I feel like I know. Yeah. I could really do with cutting down my Twitter time, I think, but I don't know. I'm really like impressed with all your like blogs and emails and everything, and yeah, it's all really class. And I know, like, I published my first book myself, and it was just so like much hard work, and I don't know, I just think like you're sort of amazing.
Oh, thank you.
She does work so hard.
What was that, Lee?
I was just saying, actually, you work so hard, and I know how busy you've been over the last few weeks getting it all together and stuff.
Oh,
And I'm so impressed.
Thank you.
She never stops. Like from the minute she wakes up, the laptop's cracked open and she's working away. Like we were able to set up an office in the living room for her, so we're not as apart as much.
Yeah.
So I'll sit on my Xbox and she'll sit on her laptop, and she never stops. Like, and in between that, like we have moved house and she's still getting it set up, and she does everything. She takes good care of me as well.
Oh.
I feel a bit like a fraud, people telling me about my work ethic whenever B is here, because B works more hours than there are in the week, somehow, because she's magical. So I think it's all relative, I think is what I'm trying to say. But thank you all for the compliment. I'm really embarrassed. So has anybody else got a question?
I wondered which bit of writing the book you liked most. Is it sort of the initial idea? Is it the editing? Which sort of bit excites you most?
There is a bit that's fairly early on. I don't think it's a spoiler. At the start of the book, there's quite a bit of tension and drama. I assume you all know what the book's about, but the main character, Maya, is in labor and it doesn't quite go to plan. So there's a part where she's like, I don't even know if I'm going to survive this. I don't think it's a spoiler to say that she does survive it, because obviously there's still the rest of the book to happen. But there's a bit where after the baby's born and Maya is holding the baby, and it's I just think it's a really sweet scene. I think I made myself cry writing it.
A few times.
A few times, yeah. But yeah. So writing that scene was very enjoyable in a maybe in a little bittersweet way. I don't know. I liked it though. I liked how it ended up.
That's my dog.
Oh, hi, Sima. Joe, remind me what your dog's called.
He is called Alfie, and I put up a post about him on the bookshop page today, because I also run a bookstore, and he's had more hits than anything that I've put up so far. So from now onwards, the bookstore page is just going to be about Alfie. And his
that's solid.
Hello. Let me see if I can get him up here. No, he's away. No.
I can just say it, Joe. Alfie's reading. What's Alfie's reading today?
Well, the thing is, he's a rescue dog, and he's not very predictable, but he is getting better, and we're not sure how he'll do. So we're thinking we would like to bring him into the shops because he likes company. But on the other hand, it could be an absolute disaster.
You were going to say he's a rescue dog and he's not very good at reading.
His reading's fantastic, Betty. They taught him all that is amazing. So
trying to house train them,
but we don't know how he'll do. So we're talking about doing it whenever we're still in lockdown. Whenever it's just me and Chris there, and get everybody who walks in to give him a treat. So he thinks anybody who comes into the shop is his mate.
Oh.
I recall from the first draft of the book, Maya chose not to keep the child. Why did you decide to change and have her keep Emma?
It wasn't, well, there's a short answer to this and there's a long answer to this. The short answer is circumstances. The long answer is in the rewrite that happened, it made more sense plot-wise for her to keep the child with her. So it wasn't so much that she wanted to get rid of the child, it's that she thought that she had to, because she thought the child would be safer without her, and then that went off in a whole different direction. That has changed for the final version.
And I was going to ask, what was the most satisfying part of writing it? Not the best, not the worst, but the segment of the book that you found most satisfying to have completed.
The end. So good to finally finish it after like almost 5 years. I was like, dear God, it's done. If B tells me this needs to be rewritten, I'm gonna cry. And then B wonderfully told me that it was good to go. I was like, yes. So that was very satisfying.
I have a question.
Okay, hi.
Hi. So, who was your favorite character to write in the book?
Do you know, she is a mess of a person, but I really like Lynn. It's the lady that Maya has to share a flat with when she moves into the mother and baby unit. And there's a character called Lynn who's just
She was like an amalgamation of about 4 Coronation Street characters.
something like that. She's a bit unconventional and not quite definitely not easy. But she is very fun to write. On that note, I really am going to log off. So thank you so very much.
Congratulations.
Bye. Good luck.
Have a good one.
See you later. Congratulations.